What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And so once again, people are still bugging me about this Wrestlemania 41. And my opinion has not changed. I don't like the card. I don't like the main event. I don't like really next to anything about this main event and this WrestleMania in general. I think this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be up there with WrestleMania 27, which I think was the worst WrestleMania of all time, including over WrestleMania 9, which I know WrestleMania 9 was a dog shit fest too. But WrestleMania 27 was, in my opinion, worse because, I mean, the fact that they butchered that card so freaking badly is just ridiculous with the guys they had for 27. But anyways, the card is dog shit. I mean, like first of all, I mean, let's just retract the main event right now for a second with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Okay, what else do they have? They're gonna do some stupid non-title triple threat with Punk, wasting CM Punk in a goddamn triple threat when he should be in a one-on-one match. Okay, they're wasting him in a triple threat for nothing, which I've already explained already why that's a stupid idea. What else do they got? Okay, we got another triple threat match in Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair, because for some reason they thought that Io Sky deserved to be in this match for some reason. Sorry to people that like Io Sky, but I don't understand why she was good enough to be in this match. Like, I don't understand I don't understand why her appeal makes this match better, because she wasn't a draw when she was champion. So I don't get why she was added to this match at all. Like, Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair to me would have been a better match one-on-one. Especially if it had been for the title one-on-one, because Rhea had never lost the title, since she technically was injured and had to relinquish it. So she had never been defeated for the championship. Okay. So why would you have her lose to Io Sky, of all people, who, when she was champion for, how long was she champion for the last time? She was champion for like 6 months and she didn't draw. She was not drawing as champion. Nobody cared when she was champion. So I don't understand why Io Sky is appealed into this. I just don't understand it. I don't get where the hype is. Like, where's the money for this? Like, when I was there in Buffalo, on Raw, her pops were not that big. I mean, like, Rhea Ripley's was massive, but hers wasn't. She was like, it was just a typical regular babyface pop. Wasn't that big. I don't understand, like, why she needed to be added to this. And it's not like this is a heel versus two babyface situation. This is all baby faces. Like, they're all baby faces. So, like, I don't understand, like, what the reason for adding Io Sky into this match was. By making her champion. Because that's obviously what they're going to do. We know that already. And again, Adam Pearce made the, it wasn't him, but whoever the writer was, which made the stupid thing of ruining a way to put Rhea Ripley into the story. She's going to be put in the match regardless, but they made a stupid, like, thing where, Adam Pearce basically says that contract's not valid even though you signed it. Like, Rhea Ripley was doing the Shawn Michaels thing with the Benoit and Triple H, where he signed the contract rather than Chris Benoit after he super kicked him. And Eric Bischoff's hands were tied, which is why it turned into a triple threat. So that was kind of what they were doing, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. But then they decide, Adam Pearce says, oh, well, that's not legal binding or whatever because your name's not actually on the document that you signed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, she's holding on to the contract, but then Pierce ends up taking away the contract anyways from her. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Okay? Like, if Eric Bischoff couldn't do anything, why the hell are you making a second effort, Adam Pearce? Like, this was terrible writing. Like, I thought they were going with that same recycled storyline setup, but instead they decide to make it stupid. Another problem with WrestleMania is why are there so many goddamn title matches in the lead up to WrestleMania rather than properly building feuds for these matches at WrestleMania? We've had like three champions, new champions in just the past 3 weeks. Stupid. LA Knight is the champion is the United States champion as of last week, and he doesn't have an opponent right now. Like, LA Knight is a marquee guy, and yet he doesn't have a proper like match. Now, they might go with Jacob Fatu or Solo Sikoa, but I thought they were going to do Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in a match at WrestleMania, but it seems like one of them is going to be facing LA Knight for the title, which could be good or bad for LA Knight because, I mean, if LA Knight retains, because like LA Knight needs to retain to keep his stardom, which he's still over, so that's going to be the big problem if he gets one of those guys. Ow. It seems like they're going to do Braun Breaker and Penta, which I don't really like this either because Penta just came to WWE. Like, he's only been there for like 3-4 weeks now, and he's going to get a WrestleMania match with Braun Breaker over some of the other guys that have been there. I mean, like, say the whole thing with Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor could have had that Mania instead of doing it on Raw. Like, what kind of dumb shit is this? And before people say, oh, well, Penta's been all over on the world and stuff like that. Yeah, but he's not been on the WWE stage, man. He's not been on the WWE stage, and there's been other guys that have been, been on this roster for an entire year, busting their ass off, and they get shafted aside, because I originally heard this was going to be like a ladder match, but obviously they're not doing that. I mean, the card is just shit. I mean, oh yeah, let's not forget Jey Uso versus Gunther has been a terrible build. Gunther has just been dominating him the entire time, choking him out and stuff like that at each end of the match or end of the segments or whatever. Like, that's literally all Gunther's been doing. And again, outside of Jey Uso's like entrance, when the hell have people been interested in this feud? Like, yeah, people go nuts for his entrance, but then when they get to the matches and they actually get to the segments and the promos, nobody gives a fuck. Like, and again, this goes back to Jey Uso losing to Gunther at Saturday night's main event cleanly in the middle of the ring a week before the Rumble. That was a mistake. Jey Uso, if the plan was for him to win the Rumble, he should have never lost to Gunther. He should have never been in that match at Saturday night's main event, because that just made everything invalidable for Gunther, or invalidable for Jey Uso, because it's too soon. It's too soon. So the match is just, nobody cares. Like, the only thing they care about is his entrance. That's literally all. Like, Like Jey Uso's entrance is what's getting him over. Nobody, like none of his promos or the ring segments, like, I don't get the feeling that anybody's interested in it. It's just the entrances that they give a damn about. So this storyline is just so wacky. And then obviously the John Cena and Cody Rhodes match. Again, John Cena does not deserve to be in this match. It should be CM Punk. I don't care what anyone says. John Cena, he's been in 7 main events. He's not been there the whole year. The 16-time world championship bullshit is a lie. Ric Flair had it 21 times. It doesn't matter what WWE says. That's what it is. Okay. And again, it just seems really pointless. And I hate this more than, because I was thinking about this, I hate this more now because now everybody's going to think that everybody that announces their retirement is going to get this fucking stupid ass retirement tour like Cena does. Like, if Randy Orton, let's say Randy Orton a year from now decides to announce his retirement, does that mean he gets to be in the main event for the WWE champ? It's bullshit. Undertaker didn't get that. Shawn Michaels didn't get that. I'm talking about being in the title match specifically, because Shawn Michaels technically was in the main event with Undertaker. But, you know, you know, the guys that go out, Kurt Angle's last match at Mania wasn't a title match. It wasn't the main event. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing that, oh, well, John Cena gets it. Like, why? Why does Cena deserve it? Why does John Cena get to deserve it just because he was, the face of the company a decade ago? Who gives a shit? Okay? Like, I'm so sick of this whole argument. Not even Hogan in his last year with wrestling for WWE got the title. Okay? Like, and again, I am working on this whole, I want to make this video before WrestleMania about why Cena isn't winning against Cody. Because it's clear as day that Cody is fucking winning the match. It's going to be a passing of the torch for Cody Rhodes to beat John Cena. Okay? It's a passing of the torch. Okay? And I'll just let you guys know. All right, now, if you guys don't understand why John Cena is going to lose to Cody Rhodes, then all I'll say is you haven't watched WrestleMania 3. That's all I'm going to say. Watch WrestleMania 3 and you understand why John Cena will not beat Cody Rhodes. And I'll get more in depth to that in a future video. But that's why John Cena's not winning. Watch WrestleMania 3. Watch the storyline build to WrestleMania 3. Then get back to me and tell me how John Cena is going to win this match. Okay? Because if you understand anything about the business and you understand how the business works, you know why John Cena cannot win at WrestleMania 41. Okay? You would understand why he's not going to win. Okay? Now, again, I've never, I'm again, and I've said this multiple times in my video, I've been the most consistent person here. I'm a realist. You know what? When John Cena did that promo last Monday, he was speaking to me. He wasn't speaking to you guys. He was speaking to people like me. Because there are people like me that don't like John Cena, that never have liked John Cena. Okay? Because of the stuff he did in his career as being John Cena. John Cena is the reason why I, as a fan, started to hate the product. Okay? Before John Cena became John Cena, I loved the WWE product. John Cena is the reason why the product started sucking. Okay? It has nothing to do with PG and all that bullshit, okay, that happened in 2008. You want to know why? Because WWE before the Attitude Era was PG, okay? The New Generation era was PG, okay? As a matter of fact, the start of the Attitude Era was PG, okay? That's something that people will not tell you. See, that is what's it called? That is the idea that wrestling fans have convinced you that the Attitude Era started as TV 14. All right, that is the stereotype that people from that weren't alive for the Attitude Era will make you believe that. But in reality, that's not true. The fact of the matter is, WWE was not TV-14, didn't have any TV-14 rating until 98, okay? Go look it up. They were PG in 97, okay? They didn't turn TV-14 until 98, and that was only for certain shows. They would briefly be TV-14 for various Raw shows, but not every Raw show, okay? And then it became fully TV-14 in 1999, okay, when Undertaker became the ministry guy, okay? That was when they fully committed to TV-14, okay? So there were only certain shows in 98 that were TV-14, okay? And this is something that has been lost with fans, okay? This has been lost with fans because people still believe this, that WWE in the Attitude Era, it was always TV-14. And that's factually incorrect, okay? So, the greatest period in wrestling history started with a PG product. Just think about that for a second. Just think about that for a second. It started with a PG product. Yet, when WWE fully went back to PG in mid-2008, it was John Cena that ruined the product. He was the one who buried people, buried our favorites that we wanted. Okay, right? People that, were coming up. People were mad that he was winning against these guys, making them look bad. What else? Oh, yeah, the spinner belt. Everybody hates the spinner belt, and the only people that like the spinner belt now are the people that are just like, oh, well, we hated that at the time, but now we like it. Those are the only people that like those titles, okay? Or the kids that grew up with them that are nostalgia for them. Those are the only two people, okay, type of people that miss the spinner belt, okay? All right, again, it's this whole idea of, oh, will we like it now? Okay, no, you didn't like it. You never liked it. You only like it because of hindsight, okay? That's the only reason why you liked it. Nobody liked that title at the time when it was out except for kids, okay? Nobody did. I remember people hating on it. I remember people making videos about it, wanting that title gone. And as bad as the Rock title that came out that introduced the replacement for the spinner belt came out, even though I hated that title design, I was so happy the spinner belt was gone, okay? I was thrilled that the spinner belt was gone, even though I hated the new design, okay? I was glad the spinner belt was gone. I was hoping that they would burn it and never let it return. I was hoping JBL was going to blow it up just like he blew up the U.S. one, okay, the U.S. Spinner belt, okay? I was kind of hoping that he was going to blow up the U.S. Spinner belt. Remember that? Remember when he blew up the U.S. Spinner belt on television? That was what I was thinking that was going to happen to the Spinner WWE Championship. That's John Cena. John Cena, did things, like with the draft. Things like with the draft, for example, when he got drafted to SmackDown. You guys remember this? See, I remember all the bullshit John Cena does. You guys don't remember that. You guys try to forget all the dumb shit John Cena did, okay? You guys try to forget all this shit. I don't forget, okay? And that's why I don't like John Cena. I don't care. That now he's the veteran and he's the, we have to respect him now because he's been here for so long. And no, fuck that shit. Okay. It's like, if you didn't like him back then, you shouldn't like him now. Like, God damn it. I hate this whole, now we're going to like him now. No, why? What changed? Nothing changed. He went away and then you liked him now. Like, no, nothing changed, dude. Same guy. Okay? So, in the draft, remember when in the draft, he was drafted to SmackDown, and then by the end of the show, he was drafted back to Raw? That that type of bullshit logic is what ruined wrestling, because that was never allowed in any of the draft shows before. Once you were drafted that night, you weren't able to get drafted back. I mean, yeah, they did the trade thing after the draft was over with Triple H in, in the, what was it, the 2004 draft? But with Booker T and the Dudleys. But they never did like we're going to redraft him back. That's not how drafting works, okay? You get drafted, that's the end of your night, okay? You can get traded, but you're not supposed to get drafted. Stuff bullshit like that is what I hated about John Cena and still do to this day, okay? Because of dumb shit like that. And then, of course, in his infamous promo that he just did on Monday Night Raw, right? That promo he just did, I didn't have a problem with pretty much 95% of that promo. You want to know what I did have a problem with? Him just basically going on the whole breaking the fourth wall and saying, I'm not a babyface, I'm not a heel, I'm a human being. That fucking bullshit is what I don't like about fucking John Cena. Okay? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Yes, wrestling is scripted. Everybody with a brain cell knows that wrestling is scripted. Okay? But wrestling fans do not want to have those fourth wall breaking things being done during the show. We don't want that. Okay? We still want kayfabe to still exist within the show. Yes, we know it's not real. Okay? Yes, we know that the stuff they do outside is not the characters that they're portraying most of the time, okay, on TV. But we want that in there for the shows, okay? Let me take this analogy, because some YouTuber tried to compare movie stuff and made no goddamn sense doing it. And I commented about it, and he was trying to rebuttal that, and I was getting really pissed about that. But here's the thing. Okay, when you watch a movie, when you watch, for example, like Tony Stark, okay, Iron Man, okay, when you watch him, okay, in the movie, okay, you don't want Tony Stark to say that he's Robert Downey Jr. in real life. You don't want him to make jokes that he's really Robert Downey Jr., right? You don't want him to do that during the movie, because that would make the movie dumb, okay? That would make the movie dumb, right? Would it not make it dumb if Tony Stark just all of a sudden said he was Robert Downey Jr. in the movie? Unless you're Deadpool, whose ability is to break the fourth wall, typically that stuff doesn't fucking happen in movies, right? Tony Stark would never say he's Robert Downey Jr. in the movie. Okay, on the show, within the movie, right? Well, that's what I and wrestling fans want to see in wrestling. We don't want fucking John Cena saying that he's not a heel, okay? Because that's an analogy for a bad guy. Babyface is an analogy for a good guy, okay? We don't want those terms being used on the actual show, okay? We still want the remnants of kayfabe to still be preceded in the shows that we are watching on television, okay? We know the show isn't real. That's not the point. We know movies aren't real. This is what I'm saying. That's again the thing with the whole movies. Everyone says, oh, wrestling ain't real, but yet but those same people that watch those DC and Marvel movies, they won't say the Marvel movies aren't real, or Robert Downey Jr. isn't really Iron Man, because he isn't really Iron Man, right? He's not really Iron Man. He's an actor playing the character of Iron Man, and soon to be Doctor Doom now as well, okay? He is playing the character of Iron Man, okay? But on the show, we want to see him as Iron Man. We don't want to see him as Robert Downey Jr., okay? It's the same difference when you're watching wrestling and you're watching The Undertaker, okay? You don't want to see Mark Calloway. You want to see The Undertaker, right? That is, the dead man. That was the character for 30 years, okay? That's the, Undertaker was good with keeping kayfabe alive the way he did, okay? That is the point, okay? And so, yes, I absolutely hated John Cena's promo because of that. Everything else, I didn't give a shit. Like, everything else he said, I was fine with because I knew specifically he was targeting the people that always booed him, like me, okay? Which is fine. I don't care because I've never denied that I don't like John Cena. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a pretender like a lot of the fans are now that are trying to pretend that they always liked John Cena when they didn't. Okay? I'm not a bullshitter like some of these other guys are. Okay? That try to pretend that they always like John Cena when they didn't. Okay? I'm not talking about the people that did truly do like John Cena, because obviously I know Cena had a big fan base, but I'm talking about the people that didn't really like John Cena, that had always not liked John Cena, okay? Because there were people like me that were like that and still were. And then all of a sudden they decided to start cheering for him because, he's, old now. He's the veteran now. It's just dumb, man. It's dumb. So yeah, I don't give a shit about this WrestleMania so far, because so far none of the matches have appealed to me. And we didn't even talk about the Charlotte match. Nobody gives a shit about Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. They had to force Tiffany as a babyface because nobody was going to cheer for Charlotte. Because Charlotte was supposed to be the babyface. Tiffany was supposed to be the heel in that feud. They switched it right away because of Charlotte being hated, because he's her being booed. But, again, nobody cares about that match. They just want to get it over with. Okay. Like, nobody cares about any of these matches. Like, I don't, I don't. I mean, maybe other people do, but I don't understand. Like, this year's WrestleMania sucks. Like, there's no, let this play out bullshit. No. And again, me, personally, right now, I'm waiting for this year's Money in the Bank. Because I don't want Punk to face Cena at Money or SummerSlam, if he somehow does win the title, which I don't think he's going to. But I don't even want to see that. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to. You want to know why I don't want to? Because I want Punk to main event WrestleMania. I don't want him to main event SummerSlam. I don't care about him main eventing SummerSlam. You want to know why? Because he already main evented SummerSlam. He already main evented Money in the Bank. So why? What does that get out for me? I wanted him to main event WrestleMania. Night 2 for the title. Okay? Cody versus Punk would have done just as good. That whole year-long build that they had for Cody and Punk would have made more sense. And a babyface program would have still worked. Okay? So, again, this whole thing with Punk, is just bullshit. Or this whole thing with Cena is just bullshit. That he got to get the main event over Punk. And that's my thing on this. I'm still pissed off. I'm going to continue being pissed off about it because I probably don't even care about this year's WrestleMania. Because, like I said, I don't care. The thing we need to be focused on is this year's Money in the Bank. Because I want Punk to win that Money in the Bank contract now. Like Drew did. I want him to win it, but instead of being a doofus like Drew McIntyre was and cashed it in that night, I want Punk to basically come out the next night after winning Money in the Bank at the pay-per-view for the third time. He'd be the first person to win it 3 times. He already won it back-to-back. He was the first person to win it 3 times. I want Punk to win the Money in the Bank contract in July or June, whatever the fuck it is. I don't remember. I want him to win that Money in the Bank briefcase, and I want him to come out and say, I am not going to cash this in until WrestleMania. I'm going to evoke the main event of night 2 for whoever the champion is for WrestleMania. That's what I want him to do. That's my booking plan right now. And he basically says, well, whoever the Rumble winner is, if they choose the WWE champion, it's going to be a triple threat because I'm going to be in that match for WrestleMania. It's one of the things that they've never tried before with Money in the Bank is have somebody wait literally until WrestleMania and announce that he's doing it for WrestleMania, like Punk would do. That's what my thing is right now. Money in the Bank. CM Punk wins next night, announces that he's cashing in at WrestleMania, and wants the main event. Because that's his dream. It's the main event WrestleMania. So that's what I want him to do. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't give a shit about this year's WrestleMania because I don't care about this year's WrestleMania. The card has sucked. The main event is going to suck. And nothing else matters to me. Okay? They have such a great roster and they're making the card into shit. Okay? So that's what my thoughts are. I'm out. I'm the Ultimate Goku. Comment, rate, subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.